Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth. It's good to have you. Please consider subscribing and turning on your post notification bell if you are a crafter or just enjoy crafting videos. My goal is to grow to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, that's 2022. So please help me to achieve my goal so that I can continue to bring you more crafting videos. Today I'm going to be doing the sublimation on cotton hack using DTF film. And I'm also going to be doing some embroidery to create this multimedia t-shirt. So if you'd like to see how I do that, stay tuned. Before we get into the video, I would like to thank Eve of the Baby's Booty for kindly sending me this heat press. I was a winner in her 50k giveaway a few weeks ago. The heat press is a wire press clamshell from Heat Transfer Warehouse. For those of you who don't know, I am based in the UK and would have never been able to get this press because Heat Transfer Warehouse do not ship equipment to the UK. This press is larger and more robust than the one I have that I purchased from Amazon. It has a 15 by 15 inch platen with a pull-out drawer, easy to use digital time and temperature display, and it's in my favorite color, purple. I had to get a voltage converter in order to be able to use it, but the press is just so much more superior than the other one that I have. It has the Baby's Booty logo and Eve also signed it, which just makes it even more special. So thank you so much to Eve. I truly am grateful for this amazing heat press. So I'm going to be doing the sublimation hack using this DTF film, which I got from Amazon. I'm going to link this in the description box. When it comes, it tells you what side to print on. But when you get it, there is a distinct side that you print on. So you have a frosty side and you have a more shiny glossy side. I'm going to be putting my film into my printer with the frosted side facing up. Okay, so the image is done and printed. So now I'm going to add the DTF powder onto it. So now I'm going to be adding my DTF powder. So I've just got some layout paper here to collect the excess of the DTF powder, and I'm going to be putting the DTF powder adhesive all over the wet side. It needs to be done quite promptly, quickly, because the ink is wet, just so that it's able to stick on. I also got this from Amazon. I will also link that in the description box below. Got a big lump there. I'm just sprinkling it on like so. And I'm going to make sure, without touching the actual print, make sure that the adhesive powder is distributed onto the actual print. Got that big boulder there, looks like a snowball. to make sure that it covers the whole of the print, like that. This bit is the part that allows the ink of the sublimation ink to be applied to the t-shirt. So this part is important, making sure that the whole image is covered. And then shake the excess off. Okay, so once that is done, the image will now look a lot more frosted, like that. Okay, and that's the other side. And this is the side with the DTF adhesive powder. So it is covered really well. This is a very important step. So shake the excess off. And now we are going to cure that DTF powder under the press. I'm just going to collect this now and put this DTF powder back into the bag because it can be used again. Okay, so my heat press is now ready. What I did is, in order to hover it, because I need to hover the heat press over the DTF film, I have loosened my pressure quite a bit so that when I clamp it down, it doesn't clamp completely down to the bottom plate. So I'm now just going to put this under the heat press now, and I'm going to cure that for roughly about 30 seconds. So I'm just going to have a look at it to see if it's cured. It still needs a little bit of more curing because I can see some of the adhesive hasn't yet cured. It still looks a little bit sugary, so I'm going to put it down for a little bit longer. Okay, we still need, it's still looking a little bit frosty looking, so I'm just going to rotate it so that I can cure the rest of the sheet. Okay, we are getting there, but oh, I think it's done. I think it is done. So here is what it looks like. It's looking less frosty. So I'm going to now prepare my t-shirt. So here is the t-shirt that I'm going to be using. It is a Fruit of the Loom. It's not my favorite type of shirt to use, but it is, don't know if you could see that, it is 100% cotton. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lint roll my shirt to get any fuzzies off, because those fuzzies can ruin your print. Press my shirt to get it nice and flat. I am also going to put a center line in my shirt, so I'm just going to fold it in half. Like so. Make sure it's nice and straight and flat. Excuse my arm being in the way. I've just put some parchment paper on there. I need to protect my press. Whenever you do sublimation, you need to make sure you protect your press. So I'm just going to prepare the t-shirt now. So I'm going to be embroidering this t-shirt also. So what I'm going to do with my image is I'm going to cut off that bottom part with those smaller images. Okay, I'm going to use one of these for the sleeve. And then I'm going to measure the space for my embroidery. I'm just going to get my t-shirt guide. I'm going to place my image just there because my embroidery is going to go on the top. So I might just go ahead and I'm folding it not on the printed side. I just want to get a middle kind of impression onto my sheet. So I'm going to pinch at the top and pinch at the bottom, just to give me a kind of middle line like that. I've got a little bit of kind of a bit of mark from the printer here. I'm just going to try and scratch that off if I can. I don't want it to go into my shirt. Okay, that's coming off. Okay, and there's a little bit there. And it comes off quite easily because the adhesive allows you to kind of scrape it off. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to place it down. Making sure I match it up to my center line so it's nice and straight, like that. What I've forgotten to do is I need to put some parchment paper inside my t-shirt. So I'm just going to try and get that done without, let's see if I can lift that up with that. Okay, I can lift it up. Thankfully, I need to put some parchment paper inside my shirt so that it doesn't seep through. I'm really hoping this turns out really well. If you haven't seen my other video where I test out this hack for the first time, I will link that video at the top. Okay, I think I am good with that. Right. Okay, lovely. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some tape so that it doesn't shift. And I'm just going to put it under the press now. and put some parchment paper on the top also. Everything just to protect my press, because this is my new press and I don't want it ruined. Okay, let's have a look. Let's just have a look, see. Let's see how it's done. Ooh, I feel like it's pressed. I'm gonna actually take a little sneak peek. Yep, I believe it's pressed. I might just press it for about 10 seconds. I'm gonna increase my pressure slightly of my press, and not 10 seconds, maybe about 5 seconds. I just want to make sure it's got a good contact. So I'm going to leave that to cool. While it's cooling, I'm going to try and press the sleeve also, or prepare the sleeve also. So I think I would like it on the right arm. Right, this feels nice and cool now, so I'm going to remove this, and hopefully it just peels off easily. That tape is really stuck on. Oh wow, that came out really nice. Look at the ink release. There's barely any ink on there. Barely. You can see my hands through it. So I'm really pleased with that. That's really good ink release. All the ink is actually on the t-shirt. The colours are nice and vibrant. I love it. Okay, I'm just going to wait for this one to cool off. Okay, so I'm just waiting for my press to cool down. I've reduced the temperature now to 160 degrees Celsius. So in case I didn't say the temperatures before, I cured it at 193 degrees Celsius, and I cured the DTF film under the heat press, the hovering method. I did 30 seconds, that wasn't enough, and then I rotated it, and then I did it for another 30 seconds. Okay, so you just need to make sure that the actual DTF powder has cured, and when it cures, it goes a little bit more of like a shiny texture. Okay, it doesn't look so sugary. So you may need to check that. The times are not definite according to the size of your image. When I did my first video, I cured it for 30 seconds and the image was a lot smaller, and I used my other heat press, which isn't the best one, but I think it cured quickly because it was a smaller image. So that part is a little bit kind of like, as far as timing, a little bit hit and miss. You're going to have to just look out for the signs of it being cured, so it will become more of a shiny texture more than a sugary looking frosted one. Okay, and then I press this at 193 degrees Celsius for 25 seconds. That was the first one, and then I pressed it again for 10 seconds. So all in all, I pressed it for 35 seconds. So your actual pressing on the shirt will be 35 seconds and 193 degrees Celsius. I'm now going to do an insurance press. I've reduced my press to 160 degrees Celsius, and I'm just going to press it for 10 seconds. So this is nice and cool now. I can now remove this one. These turned out so nice. I love it. There you go. The Black Panther mask. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for my heat press to reduce, and then we're going to do our final press. Okay, so I'm now going to press it. My parchment paper is still inside, so I'm just going to leave that inside, and I'm now going to press it for 10 seconds. I keep forgetting I've got a pull-out drawer because I didn't have one before, which just makes things a whole lot more convenient. Sorry if my arm was in the way. Just making sure it's nice and flat. And then I'm going to put Teflon sheet on top. And my Teflon sheet, and I'm just going to press that for 10 seconds. Okay, so here it is. Here is the print on the t-shirt. It's turned out really nice. The color is nice and vivid. It's a monochrome design, so the color black is really vivid. You can really see the color there. It also feels as though the print is in the t-shirt, so there is a texture there. I can feel something on the t-shirt, but it doesn't feel as thick as HTV, so it feels like it's well adhered into the t-shirt. So this is just a nice alternative to HTV to give you that look of a print. And here is the sleeve detail, and I think it looks really wonderful. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I'm going to be doing some embroidery at the top, so stay tuned for the next part of this mixed medium t-shirt. I'm going to be using embroidery. I'm going to be doing an applique for this part of the multi-medium t-shirt. So I have my cutaway stabilizer already hooped. I also have the fabric that I'm going to be using for my applique, and I have some Heat and Bond light already ironed onto the back. So this is what I'll be using, Heat and Bond light, and you just press that onto the back of your fabric for 2 seconds. And it has a sheet at the back which I will be peeling off when I put my fabric down. And I also have some Tender Touch fabric here to place on the back of my t-shirt, just so that the stabilizer and the thread doesn't irritate the skin when it's being worn. And I have my applique scissors here, which has a curve and makes it easier for cutting around stitches. So I'm just going to hoop my t-shirt. So I have my t-shirt here with the image already on it from the sublimation hack that I did. So I'm just going to hoop my t-shirt, and what I do is I float my t-shirt I don't hoop the t-shirt in with a stabilizer, because I find it causes me issues when I do that, to do with tension and everything. So I just float my fabric. So I've placed the hoop inside, and I'm just going to match my hoop with the guide, so there are notches at the top and at the bottom and on the side. So I'm going to be matching my center. I can still see the center impression from when I pressed this, so I'm going to be matching that, including the V-neck part of my t-shirt. I'm going to be matching that with the notch there, just to center it. Now I'm going to be placing pins around to attach my t-shirt to the stabilizer. So I now have my t-shirt pinned to my stabilizer, and now I'm going to roll my t-shirt up so that my hoop is on the outside. And now I'm going to use these clips to hold the t-shirt in place so it doesn't get in the way of the machine. Okay, so I have the t-shirt pegged backwards and out of the way, and the back of the hoop is also clear. So we're now going to take it to the machine and start the embroidery. So the first stitch is going to be a placement stitch. Okay, so that is my placement stitch done. I'm now going to put my fabric on. So I need to peel away the heat and bond backing, and then place that on my, so if I just take it off the hoop so you can see, I'm just going to place that on where my placement stitches are, making sure I cover it. And I think I'm going to have my fabric facing this way. Like so. So my fabric needs to cover the entire placement stitch. So I'm just checking to see that it's covering, and it is, because it's a lot larger than the actual stitch out. So I'm going to attach my hoop back on. And now I'm going to continue with the tack down stitch. Right, so that is the tack down stitch done. So I'm just going to take the hoop off the machine. So you may be able to catch the stitches that I've just done as the tack down stitch. Even though it's black, you could just about see it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut around those stitches. So I forgot to mention why I put the heat and bond on my fabric, and it's to stop fraying. So when I cut around each letter, it will prevent this fabric from fraying. And also when I press the shirt at the end, it will make sure that the applique fabric adheres to the actual t-shirt. So it serves two purposes: to stop fraying and so that the fabric stays nice and flat when I press it at the end of the project. So I'm just going to cut around this and I'll be right back. Right, so I have cut around each letter. It took quite a while because all these angles were quite tight after I did the tack down stitch. So it took quite a while to cut around, but now I'm going to place it back inside the machine. So I'm going to attach my hoop and do the final stitch. So shortly after this, I ran into some technical difficulties. My camera stopped recording, so you're not able to see the entire finishing stitch, which was just a running stitch. I wanted a more organic finish to my applique, so having a raw edge was the look that I was going for. So it's just a running stitch around each of those letters. And the good thing about the heat and bond is that it keeps the edges of the fabric intact, so there is no fraying. So I had some technical difficulties. The camera stopped recording and I didn't realize. So the stitch is finished. I left it as a kind of a more organic stitch rather than a satin stitch around it. And now I am going to cut out the excess stabilizer. Okay, so I'm now going to place my tender touch on the back, and I'm going to iron that in place. Okay, so I'm just going to be using my Cricut mini press here to press the tender touch on the back. And the tender touch, like I said earlier, is just to prevent irritation on the skin. This is normally used for children and babies' clothing, but I also like the feel of having something smooth on the inside of a garment. So I'm just going to press this on. Okay, so I've pressed the tender touch on the back, and what that also does, while I'm pressing the tender touch on the back, the heat and bond light that I put on the fabric will also be pressed at the same time, which means it has a good bond with the actual t-shirt. And that is it done. I'm going to now give you a little close-up look. So here is a close-up of the mixed medium t-shirt design. It says Wakanda forever, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. If you found this video useful or interesting, please like and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. And make sure to turn on your post notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. Please feel free to interact with the comment section by leaving any comments and questions that you may have. And as always, guys, don't have a good day, have an amazing day. Till next time, bye.